What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one. Listen up, next week in the markets is shaping up to be a good week, and my plan in this video is to make sure that you guys are aware of the best opportunity that's going to be out there for you next week in the markets. But before I get onto that, let me just share with you guys how our week this week went. All right, so myself and the members over at the Patreon, we went 2 for 2. So that means we took 2 trades, won those 2 trades. So check it out. This is the first trade. This is a trade that we took early in the week on Nvidia. These were call options. They went up over 100%, netting myself over $6,000 in profit. And obviously it was a landslide victory for the members as well, who netted serious money on this trade. But that wasn't the only one, because we took another one. Second one was on SOXL, went over 90% in profits. So for me, it was over $10,000 in profits that were made on the week, guys. And this is what I'm telling you. This is the beauty about options trading. There is nothing else out there in this world that is going to generate you returns of 100%, 90% in only a few days' time on a consistent basis. There's only a small fraction of the world that knows about options trading. And those that know about it, guys, do exceptionally well. And you see it here every single week. Right, that's how you're able to go from generating, $200 a week as a starting point to scaling up to generating 1,000. Next thing you know, you're generating 10,000. Right, that's how I started. I started off making a couple of hundred a week. Now we're at the point where we're making 10,000 a week. There is nothing in the world like options trading, and that's why I'm trying to get you guys into this game, because it is unbelievably lucrative. Now, I want to start sharing some of these members over the Patreon who are just doing incredible things. There were hundreds to choose from, but let me just go ahead and share Isaiah in this instance, who jumped into that SOXL trade. So he said, I went with SOXL, sold today for over 90% profit. All right, I want to put him on the podium. I want to make sure that everyone's aware that this member is hitting success. Like I said, there were hundreds to choose from, but I just want to go ahead and highlight him and congratulate him on how well he is doing. Now, his plan of action from here is just to continue scaling. All right, he may have made $500 on that trade. He may have made $300, whatever the case may be. He's going to now increase that and make more money on the next trade and more money. That's how you grow your accounts. That's how you scale your capital. That's how you get to the point where you are making $10,000 weeks, guys. So shout out to him and the rest of the members who did incredibly well on those trades. We're taking that same energy into next week as always. As I said, I want to let you guys know what is going to be the best opportunity out there next week in the markets. And we are focusing on mega cap techs. The first name is Google. That's ticker symbol GOOG. The reason why I like Google so much for next week, guys, is because it recently had a breakout of structure. All right. It was forming a range back in May to June with resistance at that $180 level, and we saw an aggressive break out of that structure, okay, putting it into a new path of price action. We saw it go ahead and make a high of around $188 on the week, and we've seen a pullback down to $183. There's not much room left for this to drop. It could drop to 182, for example, just a little bit lower than where it's currently at. And then what you're going to see is you're going to see a reversal high. You're going to see a retest of that $188 level. I want to let you guys know this year, Google is going to $200 in share price. Right now it's 183. So there's going to be tons of trading opportunities from where it's at right now up to that $200 level. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that so you can put yourselves in a position to win. I want all my people winning, right? If you're watching this channel, if you're over at the Patreon, there is no reason why you shouldn't be winning. There's no reason why you shouldn't have already built a second income that is slowly creeping up to making more than your main income, than your 9-to-5 income, right? And eventually it will surpass that multiple times over. So Google is one that is highly on the priority list for next week. If you guys remember, last week I already told you NVIDIA, and I told you it was going to go higher. Lo and behold, we had that over 100% returns on that trade. Google is just going to follow suit. Okay, so you're going to see a reversal high. You're going to see it go from where it's at right now. It's 183, 182, back up, retest that $188 level. Let's just take a quick look at the options chain. So this is where we're going to go ahead and select our order. Going to get into that option, and we are looking at the $185 call option. The $185 call option with a price tag of around $110, $120 per contract. This particular contract, I'm expecting it to go up 80 to about 130% next week based on the move that we should see in the Google stock price back up to that $187, $188 level, right? So I'm expecting this trade to generate 100% in returns, looking at that $185 call option you guys could see on your screen. Okay, so I just want to share the option chain with you so you guys are aware of the exact contract that I'm looking at in this case. And this is the 5th of July expiration, so expiring next week. So these contracts, they're going to have some real energy to them. Okay, so when you start seeing the Google stock price move higher, you're going to see a big increase in this $185 call option that you guys are seeing on screen right here. So that is high priority for next week. One of the best opportunities that exists out there in the markets as we speak. There is another one though, guys. Okay, you guys already know I like to put you in multiple positions. The next one's going to be Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. If you take a look, we had this multiple peak formation around that $190 level, and that was a level that was challenging for the stock to move above. Lo and behold though, this week just gone, we did see an emphatic break above that. We saw tons of energy as it pushed higher towards the it pushed towards the $200 level. Actually, it got to $200 last week in the markets. But look at the price action in the very last session of the week. We see it move down 2%, down to $193. So it pushed up to $200. That was the peak of last week. Then we got that classic pullback in price down to $193. Why is it pulled back? It's pulled back to go higher. The only reason why it's pulled back is so it can stop those that were in call options making money temporarily and give an opening for those who want to jump on board. And this is going to be a very lucrative opportunity for next week in the markets. Now, you guys can see a similarity in the price and the movement in Google and Amazon, right? So they're following the same type of pattern here. That's important as well. So we should see, again, very likely for it to drop down a couple more notches. Just like Google, there's not much room for this to fall. It could drop down to around that $191 level, something around then, before you're going to get a big push higher. And of course, another retest of that $200. So that means getting in early in the week next week is looking like what we call an optimum entry point for this to move higher. So again, those call options, they're going to print heavy. So when you guys see the profits, and I'll show you guys, yes, we've made another 100% return on Google or Amazon. You guys know exactly why and how we have done it. Okay, so these are two names, Google and Amazon. They present the best opportunities next week in the markets, most definitely. Now, you guys know I like to help you as much as possible. So let me share with you guys what one of the members over the Patreon has sent me recently. And this was from one of our members. Says, I was looking into AA stock, that's American Airlines. What do you think of a put option on this stock with strike price $10.50, expiration date 26th of July, and it's $20 per contract. So let me just jump into the charts very, very quickly and look at what the situation here is with American Airlines and see if this is an opportunity that has some weight behind it. So first off, guys, what we're seeing here, guys, is we are seeing that there isn't much movement here. So we're just seeing price that's trading sideways. Now, because it's trading sideways, it means that we can already discard it as an options trade, because what we want to see is some movement. We want to see breaks of ranges. We want to see price, stacking candles higher or stacking candles lower, not just trading sideways. That's not going to be good for our options trading and our contracts that we're going to be entering into. So already I wouldn't take this trade, but if I'm zooming out, you can already see that this is kind of forming a base here, a level of support. It's hit a previous level of around, what was that, like 1092, and it hit that back in, October 23. So it's forming an area of support, and you can see prices kind of pushing a little bit higher from here. We don't want to take put options in this, because what we're doing is we're moving before the charts have given us a signal or any indication of what it's actually likely to do. So in this case, this is one that you kind of discard because of already these two reasons. You don't really need to go into any more detail than that. But if I go back to the question and take a look, so the strike price was in a month's time. My strike price is always going to be 7 to 14 days, because again, it allows you to maximize your returns on fairly minimal price movement. So in this case, a month out is going to be far too long for the types of returns that we are looking to generate. And also in a month's time, there could be added variables that kind of change the technical structure of this. So I like options that are much shorter in duration. The rest contract price and things like that are irrelevant. So that's just a quick breakdown of the positioning of American Airlines. And hopefully that kind of gives you guys a little bit of an insight into how you can quickly just pick out any stock out there in the markets, pick out any opportunity that's out there, run through a couple quick criteria and decide whether it's a good trade or whether it's one that you kind of just want to discard for now and revisit when the technical setup looks a little bit better. All right, guys, that's the video for today. Drop down some comments and I'll catch you guys next time.